On behalf of Akuno Senko for Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. HOPE. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know. Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate and seeking knowledge, make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
That question again. Yeah, put it in recording, and then let me approach it. Yeah, got it. All right, good. Ask me the question again.
Okay, the question was we were going to discuss the right to travel versus driving,
Right.
and
Yes.
what was your take on that?
Yeah, my take on the rights to travel versus driving is that my experience 30 years ago, December, almost 30 years ago, December of 1993, 30 of us went to court with a Conscious Moore who was given a traffic ticket. And the case was dismissed. However, I'm looking at 30 years now later. We're no further along when we were 30 years ago. It's still case by case. Let me can we go to court with me? It's case by case, and they're still meaning that they're stopping someone in Texas, in Houston, Texas. They're stopping someone in Tulsa. They're stopping us in Watts. They're stopping us in Philadelphia. And it's ongoing. And it's case by case by case, meaning that we're not addressing it from a national principle perspective. Let me explain what I mean by that. If a Chinese national is beat down by French cops, China is not going to address it from an individual, from a perspective of the French cops beat down the Chinese national. They're going to address it from the perspective of it's an attack on Chinese sovereignty. We're not addressing it from that perspective because we're not structured, or we have not recovered our law sovereignty. We have not structured a central national Moorish governing body so that the national principle. So we're not addressing it from the perspective of Moorish national principle. We're addressing it from the perspective of as if we're United States citizen, individual case upon individual case upon individual case upon individual case. If you continue along that line, your next 10 years, you'll be no further along. And I'm looking at the amount of energy. I have 30 years, hear me out, brothers and sisters who are watching. I have almost 30 years of observation, not 10 months, not 2 years, not 6 months. This is 30 years of observation. And I see the same thing. We're no further along now than we were. I would challenge anybody, I don't care who they are. We're no further along now than we were 30 years ago. We still are doing the same thing, individual case upon individual case upon individual case. That is taxing, well, with the amount of resources that we're using. That's my take on it. Yeah. That let's facilitate so that the national principles can be restored. When their issue is that we can address it from a national perspective. We're not addressing it from a national perspective. We're not addressing it from a perspective of treaty violation, of implementing Moorish treaties, of restoring Moorish sovereignty, of all right, of addressing, dealing with the United States Central Authority, of with a Moorish consul. We're not addressing it from that perspective. We're not addressing it from the perspective of the principles of treaty law and treaty enforcement and consular notification and consular diplomacy. We're not addressing it from that perspective. We're addressing it from individual. So we have to restore the national principles. We have to reestablish diplomacy with the treaty nation. We have to restore the principles of consular relations and diplomacy, consular notification, central authority. So we're dealing with the central authority. We're not dealing with local officials that we have Moorish consul where we're dealing with the central authority with the enforcement of treaties and consular notification, diplomacy, diplomatic channels. We're not dealing with from that. China deals from that. France, England, Germany continue. That's how they address it. We address it as you right to travel as individuals. That because that's how we've been taught.
Mm-hmm.
I already know. About 30 years, bro. 30 years. Like 30 years of observation, 30 years of sitting in different classes. It's the same old talk, same old thing, same old. How do we advance in restoring and recovering our lost Moorish sovereignty and reestablishing the diplomatic channels and addressing the matter through diplomatic channels, through consular relations? That's where I'm coming from. So I thank you for that question that needs to be asked so that we can get the people focused on this. What I'm saying is we can do this. What it is that people have not been directed to this. That's all that is. I mean, we have not been directed to this in our studies. We have not been directed to this in our approach and our outlook, meaning that this is not above us. We are intelligent. It's how we've been directed to deal with it. That's all that is. We have not been directed to study international law. We have not been directed to study treaties and treaty law. We have not been directed to study the principles of statehood. We have not been directed to study post-millennium. We have not been directed to study diplomacy. We have not directed to study consular relations, the consular notification, and central authority principles in relation to international law. We have not been directed to study that. It is not above us. It's where we've been putting our resources and time and studying and our energies in our direction. That's all that is. That's all that is, my brothers and sisters. Questions, please.
No, that was beautifully stated, and that goes across the board. That's not just with the right to travel.
That across the board. I was just addressing that to that. Yeah. The question was, absolutely, Jalil, absolutely.
Because just on Friday, the so-called judge threw out the survivors court. I mean, the 1921 Tulsa massacre survivors. They filed a lawsuit to try to get reparations, but the judge threw it out. And the main issue is one that's a legislative issue, and so that has to be dealt with on nation-to-nation built.
Bang, 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 bang.
So
bang,
just like you stated, so they would be attacked, right? They are the injured parties, but a nation is supposed to be the one bringing the claims and not the individual.
Right. And it could be brought into the international court arena, into the international arena. Yes. Absolutely.
Reparations is not a judicial matter. It's something that
and let me say this, reparations would be the wrong argument. Let me explain. Reparations would be the improper argument. I'm going to explain why reparations would be the improper argument. Slides, please. Yes. 350.
See,
Give me 1
Brother
minute.
Todd breaks down that reparations is repairing of a nation. Well, it's in one of the books that he had. I read the repairing of a nation.
Yep, but it still would be improper though.
Yeah,
Let
reparations
me explain. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Let me explain that reparations is an improper argument. The proper argument is post-millennium restoration. All right. Let me explain. Post-millennium is the principle of restoration in international law, of returning a people to their original condition. Reparations does not address returning us to our original condition before slavery, before subjugation, before conquest, before captivity. We're talking about returning us to our original condition. Reparations does not address that. So when you bring the argument of reparations, even in the international arena, they're only going to thank you. They're only going to address it from that perspective because you're not bringing forth the proper argument of restoration, post-millennium, POSTLIMINIUM, post-millennium, returning a people to their original condition. What is our original condition? Our original condition before conquest, meaning returning us to full power of our land, not address that. That's why reparations is not the proper argument. It's post-millennium. So once again, that is spinning our wheels, taking resources, time is resource, time, in an argument that is misdirected because it doesn't address returning us to our original condition.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah. I'm glad you broke that down. Can't wait to share this out.
Absolutely, brothers. Absolutely.
But
ask on.
No, I have to get out of here because we were supposed
All
to
right.
start. So
All right.
I'm gonna text you up after this call.
Yeah, text me up. Yes.
Oh no, we'll talk later too.
Yeah, most
All right,
definitely.
Jaleel. It was great talking to you, but we definitely gonna continue.
All
right.
Peace.
All right, peace. Peace and love.
Shalom, bro.
Salam.
Okay, I guess it's me and you.
Yes, me and you. Yeah, we can rock. I'm here. Just ask me a question for a point of clarification.
What you were going over, basically what you were talking about yesterday, as far as like when I watched the video, as far as nation building, doing everything individually.
Yes.
Doing everything as a nation.
Yes. So what has to happen is it's called recovery of lost sovereignty. When you're talking about in law, you have the law of peace and you have war, law of war and law of peace.
I wrote
the
that
law
down.
of peace. The law of peace is called public international law. That the law of war, you have what's called conquest, subjugation, discovery, loss of sovereignty. What is the reverse of that? It is known in the law of peace as the recovery of lost sovereignty. So what is the process to recover our lost sovereignty? We must have a plan of action. And this is what I was talking about, the Shem Malachi Base plan. Of that plan is a proposal plan, and is to restoring national political unity among the Moors, and that he has a proposal of an establishment of a Moorish Imperial Parliament Council, and the Moorish Imperial Parliament Council will be made up of heads of various Moorish body politics. These various Moorish body politics will come together to sign what he calls a Treaty of Liberty. The Treaty of Liberty would be an official document that we could show the international arena that we are united politically, but we were functioning as in a provisional capacity. Why provisional means temporary. Provisional meaning that we don't need all our people to form this. we need, well, we're going to be forming it in a provisional capacity so that we can address the centuries of mass denationalization, the centuries of colonization of our land, you know, medical genocide, linguistic genocide, apartheid, into the international arena. So we need a central governing body, but it has to be formed in line with political legitimacy, the will of the people, the consent of the people. We would make it known that this provisional government will be in place for 2 or 3 years, and while in place, we will also be facilitating large scale community outreach to reach out to educate. We have an educational model and plan and curricula to educate our people and their nationality history. All right. So as we are operating in a provisional capacity, we're not taking a position that we're permanent, that we're locked down. We're making a place that we are honoring our people, that we are honoring the principles of political legitimacy, honoring the principles of the will of the people, honoring the principles of the consent of the people. All right.
My apologies. My daughter was talking to me. I'm listening though. I'm on everything with you.
Yes.
What's another question I may have for those? This is going to be interesting. I know you have a lot that can help a lot of people. Let me ask you. Let me ask a simple question. I don't know if people have asked you, but what made you start studying more science?
Well, I have a MA. I mean, a minor degree. I have a BA in sociology from Glasgow State College, Downtown University. I have a minor degree in African studies. So this is going back, you know, when I was 20, 19, 20, 21. And so I was interested there because I have a minor in African studies. So that piqued my interest, you know, going back to 1977, I watched the miniseries Roots. You know, there was a 10-part miniseries, Roots. And I watched all 10 parts when I was 9 years old. And that sparked my interest to want to help our people. So I had that burning fire inside since 9 years, since watching Roots. And so that led me to want to study African studies as a minor. And I was also interested in getting a PhD in African studies at Temple University. So I went to social work track as a master's in social work. So I was already primed, already groomed to accept. I was already open. Yeah, I was open. My mind was open, you know, and so that's where it started. And then I met Taj Tariq Bey at Jimmy's Barbershop in Camden, New Jersey, in October 1993.
20-year friendship. That's dope. That's dope. I don't know what it is. It was just like from what my studies, it's like something about it. It was like it's in our DNA, and it just pulled me in. Once I heard about the Moors, and that was a video I saw when the brother, his son was pulled up by the officer, and he hit him with my child's not black, Negro colored. When I first saw it, I was like, what is this brother talking about? Who is this brother? Why he got this special hat on his head? Who is he? You know, I didn't know who he was, but it was something about what he was saying that pulled me in.
Frozen.
Yeah, it's the time thing again. We got 10 minutes. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah, it was just something about what the brother was saying that drew my attention. And then I was watching Sonetta TV, and he had some Morris brothers on there. And everything they were saying to the brothers had straightforward answers to it, and couldn't nobody go against what they were saying. You know what I mean? Couldn't nobody challenge what they were saying. So it made me dig more into it. Then I found Brother Taj, and I found Brother Sabir, Brother Cosmo. Then I saw your video, and I saw you and Taj just work together. And it was like, this is where it's at. There was a video I saw when Taj had broke down a dictionary with children.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, it's in a dictionary this whole time.
Yeah, Blackamore.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Blackamore.
yeah. The
Yeah.
8 parts of speech, you know what I mean? Third grade grammar, you know what I mean? It was like it's right there, you know? Yeah, we could talk
Yeah,
about that.
Blackamore is a compound word.
What is it? Black being an adjective, more being a noun,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
In the 1599, in the
Mhm,
1599 Geneva Bible,
mhm,
1590 Jeremiah 38:10, and there's like 4 sections in Jeremiah. There's 7 sections. There's 7 verses in the 1599 Geneva Bible. We have black more. Black is
mhm,
lowercase, more is capitalized. Black more. In the
mhm,
19 and in the same verses in the King James Bible, you see Ethiopia. So they changed it.
mhm,
They changed Blackamore in same verses. Jeremiah
mhm,
10, Jeremiah 35:10, in other verses, Jeremiah, like 3 other verses of Jeremiah, and like I said, 7 verses, look it up. They
mhm.
change, look up the same verse in the Geneva Bible, that's in the Geneva Bible, in the same, look it up, look those same verses up in the 1611 King
Mhm.
James Version. You're going to see replaced. So they replaced Blackamore with
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Same verses, same verses. That's what I want people to know that. That's important.
And
All
that's why
right.
it's called King James Version.
So we will see that they were reconstructing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, there's so many movies that call us Blackamore or Moor.
Now the Black Knight,
Mm-hmm. When I saw
the
Baby
Moor.
Boy, the brother with the bean pies, he had a fez on
I
his
don't
head.
remember. I saw. All right. All right.
You know what I'm saying? He had the jersey. He was like bean pies, brother bean pies. He got a
Oh
fez
yeah,
on his
yeah,
head.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
had to watch it maybe like 5, 6 times. I'm like, hold on, that brother got a fez on. That's a Moor right there. You know?
Conscious Moor.
Yeah, you know.
They're conscious Moor.
And so, well, yeah, you're right, because he got his fez on. Yeah, he's a conscious Moor. You know, but
Yeah.
there's so much out there that I'm just here to learn, brother. Like I say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you reached out to me because I am a fan of your work. I'm a fan of your work, brother Jalil. A lot of us, we are interested in your work, and
Mm-hmm.
just to have you on here right now is an honor. It's an honor to have you
Brother,
on
I
here.
want to thank you. I want to thank both of you and Jalil for continuing the work. You're in that area, Tulsa. Greatly appreciate y'all. And I
Yeah.
want whatever I can do, whatever Shim can do, Terrence, to help
Mm-hmm.
facilitate, help y'all facilitate consciousness and proper concept.
Yeah.
From
That's
here.
what you were talking about. We're gonna go over that course. The misunderstandings.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
And that's what I
Misunderstanding.
also want to get into as well. But we got 5.5 minutes on her. But on
Yeah.
our own time, I want to go ahead and get into that. The
Yes,
misconceptions.
yes.
The misconceptions.
Yeah. We
'Cause I
talked
think
about
that's
one yesterday. That 17 Resolution 75. Joint Resolution Philadelphia 75,
1933.
1933.
Mm-hmm.
And Conscious Moore has been using that to as a support document, which is definitely a misconception. We need to do that next time. At a later date, we can do that.
Yeah, we can
And
start scheduling like a certain day of the week or something.
yeah, we can read. We want to read that, and then we want to read that, and then point out the misconception.
I'm all for that.
And yeah, so definitely want to do that.
I'm all for that. We got
Exactly.
we got 4 minutes left on here. I don't want to cut off on us. I know you're enjoying your meal.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you a lot.
All right. Yes, peace. Also, they can go to get my books. They can go to mooresandmasonry.org. Mooresandmasonry.org. All right, peace.
And my daughter, she want to say bye. I'm let her come on.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Come on. Go ahead and speak since you want to speak.
Hey, bye.
You gonna tell them the 5 principles? What's your nationality? Who is Allah? Tell them. Who's Noble Ali? Where's the nearest place to meet Allah? There we go. All
All
right.
right. My man,
What's
my
up,
man.
brother?
Islam. All right, peace.
All right,
Thank you.
peace.
All right, peace.